Academic acceleration, considered as prestigious by many, only achievable by students who are deemed more advanced in their knowledge or intelligence than their peers of the same year, which leads to them advancing to the next grade faster than their peers. But how does this affect the student itself? Does it benefit the student? How does the student feel in a different environment with their new peers that are mostly older than them and probably is more emotionally mature than them? Well, in short, such a different environment compared to the student's original year could impact negatively to the performance of the academically accelerated student. And with that being said, I'll ask again, does accelerating them academically into the next grade actually benefits the student? And because of that, I as the first speaker of the government team supports the motion. This House will ban academic accelerations programs in schools. Academic acceleration, contrary to popular beliefs, doesn't mean it'll always bring good things to the students. Why is that? First, we have to acknowledge the fact that emotional and physical gaps exist within age gaps, especially those who are pre-adolescents and also adolescents. And second, though it might seem that the said gifted student might have more aptitude academically than their peers of the same year especially, doesn't mean that they are ready to fully tackle on the next grade without first going through their current year. I'm going to dive into the first point I made regarding the emotional and also physical gaps and how does that affect the academic acceleration student. Firstly, physical gap. Though at first it might seem unlikely that students will be bullied for their physique, but many said otherwise. Physical gaps, especially regarding their features, could increase their probabilities of being bullied, whether it's because of hormone changes that is caused by puberty or other things. You might think that that is such a stupid reason for to bully someone, but in many cases, physique is a reason of bullying, and that is including students of the same year being judged and bullied by their peers. And if that is the case for people of the same grade and year, how would it be that much different for the academic acceleration students? And adding more to that, there's a sentiment for academic acceleration students. For a lot of other students, it could be impressive, it could be an inspiration, but for a lot more, it could be something considered as not cool and is nerdy, or it is something that they themselves envy, whether it's in the one of the same grade after the accelerated or of the same year. These sentiments could add more to the probability of the acceleration students getting bullied. Okay. And the second point is the emotional maturity gap between the older student and the academic acceleration student. In this context, it's more so on the fact that older students may handle things differently than those who are younger. In this case, the academic acceleration students. The factor of age does play in here. For example, an older student might take an offensive joke or a more personal joke or attack and be able to not take it too hard, but that might not be the same case with the younger student, i.e., the academic acceleration student. They might take it too hard and be more affected by it compared to the older students. And these things could severely affect the students' performance in class rather than making them comfortable and be able to actually excel. They are held back by the environment and ultimately they could not hold up to the expectation that they were given. And now, going on the second point that I've made, on the fact that even though it may seem that these students have more aptitude academically than their peers of the same year, it would not mean that they are able to survive the next grade without going through the current year prior. Well, first, it is because even though they have a faster understanding of things compared to their peers, the basics or what could be a baseline knowledge for the next grade resides in the previous grade. in this context, their current year, their current grade before accelerating. And if this acceleration student were to not go through the same process, they might struggle in the grade that they accelerated to, though it may differ between students. Why take the risk of wasting a potentially more successful student if given more time for a faster graduation and quote unquote accelerate them? It will be more beneficial for the student to be given more time and to other than being able to academically be successful, they are able to also explore themselves on other things and might bring more achievements. Well, for conclusions, academic acceleration isn't as beneficial as it seems, and in fact, it could backfire to what seems to be a nice program to help who excel, especially in academically, to hindering the said gifted student because of progressing too fast first and out of their pace, and also different environments, and also lacking in the basics they needed for the class they excel to. That is all.